So obviously I don't want to spoil too much of the movie. I want you to be surprised when you see it. There's something that I can show you. So I'd like to share a couple of concept art drawings, and it's Barry Allen's new suit. As you can see, it's more organic. You can see light embedded in it. It has been built by his friend Bruce Wayne this time.
Flash fact. The first appearance of the multiverse in DC Comics is actually a Flash comic. Flash Comics number 123, The Flash of Two Worlds. This film is immensely important because if you look around at the DC universe, obviously we have all of these characters that exist within their own bubbles. We even have now multiple iterations of the same story.
I'm Batman. And Batman. I'm Batman. Sounds like a cool guy.
This movie, by opening that door that Flashpoint did in the comics, all of these stories and characters can start to collide.
Hello?
This should be impossible now.
It should be impossible now?
You don't know about the...
Oh my God, don't do this to me. I don't know about the what.
The cinematic multiverse is going to be born out of this movie. It's born out of Barry's story.
It blows our minds, the levels of possibility that exist within the context of this character in this story.
Welcome back, everyone. It's Charlie. This is going to be my video for the Flash movie teaser, all the stuff that they revealed about Michael Keaton's Batman, Ben Affleck's Batman coming back, and what they're doing with the multiverse. So if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe to get all the videos. We're doing an Amazon giveaway. All you have to do to enter is be a subscriber and let me know what you want them to do with Michael Keaton's Batman and Ben Affleck's Batman during the movie. Really hoping they get to share a scene together. They didn't promise that, but there's always the possibility. So I'll just start at the beginning and number these as we go along just to stay organized. So number 10, the director Andy Muschietti explained that the Flash will get a new suit that's way more organic. As you can see, it glows with the Speed Force energy arcing across his body when he's using it. It's going to pop way more on screen, and they're obviously going to tune the way he runs, just the visual style of the Flash, just based on Andy Muschietti's own personal taste. He's the director, so he kind of gets to decide how they interpret the Flash now, but it'll all be based on what Zack Snyder set up, so they're not going to be retconning anything about the Flash. It'll all flow from Justice League and the Justice League Snyder Cut. So we will start the movie in the Justice League suit that he built for himself with the spaceship parts. There are actually two versions of the suit that Zack Snyder built, and I believe that they're going to reference the second one during the Snyder Cut at some point. Number 9, the Flash movie obviously is based on the Flashpoint storyline of Barry going back in time to try and save his mother, but they are changing a lot of things about that Justice League Flashpoint story. So it's almost like it's only Flashpoint in name. It's not going to be anything like the Flashpoint movie or the comic book story. But Zack Snyder revealed recently that we would see new Flash powers, quote-unquote, during the Snyder Cut. This is the clip of him talking about that. It was actually Patty Jenkins of the Wonder Woman 1984 movie that asked him the question to set this up, talking about new Flash powers.
How do I do this without giving too many spoilers? You're going to see something with Flash in this film I don't think that you've ever seen before. Something that has to do with his abilities, because, you know, he's a quantum character. He interacts with time and space. So you might see him do something that is timely. But awesome, Patty. Awesome question, and it's awesome to see you.
So it clearly seems like Zack Snyder's trying to imply that the Flash will perform some level of time travel during the movie when he talks about quantum states, big Flash comic book powers that we haven't really seen a lot of yet in the movies. Time travel is just the biggest one, and it also helps set up the premise of Flashpoint. So number 8, the second big Flash suit that Ezra Miller has worn was that future armor suit when he time traveled during Batman v Superman. It's just meant to be an upgraded version of the regular suit with more armor and a special faceplate. This is a much better look at it, and another version of the Cyborg suit with the full armor up. That'll also be in the Snyder Cut. So we saw him time travel during the Nightmare scene, and in the Justice League Snyder Cut trailer recently, there was a way bigger version of that scene playing out with the ruins of the Hall of Justice and a better look at what happens if they don't save Superman from Darkseid and the anti-life equation. All of that will flow into the beginning of the Flash movie. So number 7, we found out that Ben Affleck is coming back for the Flash movie as Bruce Wayne. It was actually one of the biggest news stories last week. That just implies he's not going to be wearing his Batman costume or anything in the movie. He'll just be in his street clothes during the scenes as Bruce Wayne. But there are a couple really important reasons why they're bringing him back for the movie. They said that they sent him the script like just a couple days before they dropped the news, and Ben Affleck said yes after reading the pages. They said he's a core part of the story, the emotional through line, because not only does he understand what the Flash is going through, they both lost their mothers when they were children, even though there's not going to be any kind of Martha scene or anything like that. There have been memes about that since they announced it. But the next major reason, practically, is because he's also going to build this new Flash suit that they showed off. Canonically, he's been a mentor to the Flash this whole time, but he's sort of passing the reins to Michael Keaton's Batman, who will become the new mentor to the Flash. Based on the teaser that they released and the story they explained, it sounds like he builds that new suit for the Flash before he travels the multiverse to meet Michael Keaton's Batman on his Earth. But number 6, the last reason, obviously, they're bringing him back is to give Ben Affleck's Batman a proper bookend as Batman. Because even though he will be back as Batman in the Justice League Snyder Cut next year, he formally stopped being Batman when Matt Reeves took over to do the Batman movie with Robert Pattinson. I know there's still a lot of questions about what the future is for his character inside the larger connected DCEU universe, and would we ever see him in a Justice League movie? I'll address that later in the video. There have been all kinds of rumors about Ben Affleck the last couple of months since we found out about the Snyder Cut, but they're not going to retcon him out of the canon. He's still technically going to be the Batman of this version of Earth that the Justice League is from, but there aren't any big plans for him to start showing up in a bunch of other DC movies besides the Flash movie. So number 5, there was also some claims recently I saw that Reverse Flash isn't going to be the main villain of the Flash movie, which sounds kind of weird because he's the main villain of the Flashpoint storyline that they're adapting. It's always possible, it's still just a rumor right now, but the story that they're doing isn't close to the comic book Flashpoint, and they didn't have any Michael Keaton Batman stuff going on during Justice League Flashpoint, so it's always possible that they find someone else. Like, there's not going to be Thomas Wayne Batman or other larger Justice League War, Aquaman, Wonder Woman stuff going on during the movie. I'm still assuming that they'll at least introduce Reverse Flash, even if he isn't the main villain. He's just too big of a character in the Flash comics to skip out on completely. Worst case scenario, they pull a Joker Dark Knight situation and they just tease him at the end of the first movie and set him up as the main villain of the second movie. I know everyone's been posting the fan art of Anthony Starr from The Boys as Reverse Flash. He would make a perfect Reverse Flash. Plays a perfect psychopath, very similar personality to Reverse Flash. But number 4, even bigger, the DC Multiverse teaser. So during that teaser montage, they talk about connecting to a bunch of different DC movies through the Flash movie, like him traveling the multiverse to connect to Christopher Reeve's Superman, the classic Wonder Woman series. They even have footage of Keanu Reeves' Constantine in Dr. Manhattan from the Watchmen movie. Technically, Watchmen is part of the DC universe as of the events of the Button storyline in Doomsday Clock. There was also a Watchmen Easter egg during Crisis on Infinite Earths when they went to Lucifer's Earth, Earth 666, because he's the devil. The Button storyline was also a big Batman-Flash crossover story as well. But I don't know necessarily that means that we'll see full-blown versions of those characters appear briefly during the Flash movie, or if they'll pull something similar to what the Flash TV show did when Grant Gustin's Flash traveled to Earth 2, or during Crisis on Infinite Earths in that big post-credits scene. During the Flash TV show, when he travels to another Earth, you just get a montage of scenes from a bunch of other TV shows, including the 90s Flash TV show with John Wesley Shipp as that version of Barry Allen. They later paid that off and actually brought his character onto the show, making it canon. So my assumption is they'll do something similar to the montage. When he travels the multiverse, he'll just get glimpses of these other movie universes, quote unquote, like the Christopher Reeve Superman. They're not going to bring him back for the movie. They'll probably just reference his Superman in some way. But number 3, because you're all asking, obviously, the Grant Gustin Justice League crossover scene from Crisis on Infinite Earths. They included a big scene from that, implying that they also plan on connecting with the TV shows from their side of the movie things. You could say after watching that the TV shows are canon to the DCEU now, but in order to make it a real thing, the movies have to acknowledge it from their side too. They didn't spoil whether or not Grant Gustin would film new scenes for the Flash movie, but the Flash TV showrunner in a separate panel said that he did want to do more movie crossovers, so he's willing to let Grant Gustin take a day or two off to go film scenes for the Flash movie. Also on the promise that they would get to do some more cameos on the TV show with other movie actors like Cyborg in particular he mentioned. So number 2, even though they're not going to do the big Wonder Woman Aquaman war from Flashpoint, they do talk about crossing over with Wonder Woman, how they'd like to do that in the sequels. And then Ezra Miller talks about meeting Nicolas Cage inside the movies. Not the Nicolas Cage version of Superman that never was, but Nicolas Cage himself, the actor. So I wouldn't be surprised if they actually did something like that, even if it's not Nicolas Cage, it's some other person. It just sounds like they're going to be doing so much with the multiverse during the movie. Michael Keaton's Batman is just the beginning of that. So number 1, the Michael Keaton Batman story. They didn't reveal the reason why he gets so fully involved in the story, but during that teaser, you actually see them on his Earth getting ready to fight a bunch of thugs. He's in his classic 1989 Batman suit, but there was some talk that he might actually be wearing the Kingdom Come harness suit, so he might get some upgrades to that original 1989 suit for the movie. He's got a few city miles on him. It'd be weird if Batman were wearing the exact same costume. I know there's a lot of questions about his future in the DC movie universe, the live-action Batman Beyond movie that it sounds like they're making. There was a lot of comments on the Robert Pattinson Batman trailer that it looked kind of like a Batman Beyond movie because of the red logo, the way that came in, and because of the fact that Robert Pattinson's Batman resembles Terry McGinnis with his haircut and his look. But once they start filming and we get some more details about the Flash movie, I'll do some new videos. Just everyone let me know in the comments what you're most hyped up to see in the movie. While you wait for everything, click here to watch the Batman trailer a billion more times, and click here for the Black Adam trailer and all the other DC Fandom trailers. Thank you so much for watching. Everyone stay safe. I'll see you guys tonight.